Hey friends, Mike here at Guitar Tricks. In this video I'd like to talk about some double stop shapes that have a really distinctive sound to them. I like to call them sort of wide range double stops because we've got a lower note in the double stop and the higher note is a harmony that's an octave higher than what you would expect, and it gives a really distinctive sound. That kind of sound. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It would really help out. Now, back to the lesson. For this example that I'm going to start out with, I'm in the key of A major. I'm going to use the open A string, and I'm going to use the B string. And the first shape plays off that A note, which is the open A string, and I'm adding 2 frets up on the B string, which would be a C sharp note, which is the major third away from A, but it's in a higher octave. So you get a really distinctive sound there. Now, if I go through the A major scale on the A string, or the 5th string, I'm going to show you there's just 2 shapes that add the 3rd harmony on the B string up top. Okay, so starting with the B note, 2nd fret of the A string, the note on the B string is just 1 fret up from there at the 3rd fret. All right, now of course, grabbing these notes together, your best bet for this is the hybrid picking approach, where I'm using my pick on the 5th string and using a free finger to pluck the B string. You could also use straight up finger picking with the thumb on the low string. Okay, if you're really good at muting, you got to mute 2 strings in the middle there, the D and the G, so it's a little bit tougher. This works really well just with some hybrid picking. So back to the B note, I'm 1 fret up on the B string. As I go up the scale here to the C sharp note, 4th fret of the A string, that's still the same shape, so I've got the 5th fret on the B string. Okay, so I've got... Now I get to the 5th and the 7th fret, which is D and E. That shape comes back to the 2 fret up shape. So then I've got the 7th and 9th fret on the B string. The next 2 notes are going to be at the 9th and 11th fret of the 5th string, and that's the 1 fret up shape. And then boom, I'm back to the 2 fret up shape, an octave up from where I started, back on an A note, on the low note. What's really cool, you can take these shapes a little bit further and visualize the chords in the key of A major. If you think about the chords in the chord set of that key, you start off with the 1 chord being an A major chord. But if you just pull out those notes that we were talking about, the 5th string and the 2nd string, you end up with that shape. Same with the 2 chord would be a B minor. But if you just pluck the 5th and 2nd strings, you get those shapes. So you can kind of visualize the major and minor chords in the key along with those shapes. So it's really fun to experiment around with, come up with some cool riffs or cool melodic ideas. It's easy to modulate because that pattern going up the scale remains the same. So let's say if I change the key to the key of C, I would start with my root note on the 5th string being the 3rd fret, and that first shape is 2 frets up on the B string. So that gives me the E note, 5th fret of the B string, which is the major third of a C chord, right? And then that pattern just stays the same going up. What's also cool is that you can use the exact same shapes on the D string or the 4th string and the high string or the high E string. So for example, the key of D, all right, so there's lots of things to be experimented with here. It's a really cool sound, and I hope you come up with some great stuff. We'll see you on the next one. What other tips would you like to see here on this channel? Please leave a comment and let me know. And be sure to check out guitartricks.com for more in-depth, step-by-step lessons.